it's just like back to back to back, and it's just like they keep getting better because Kansas City's 1 was dope, 2 was better. This is the best so far out of all of them.
Yeah, but do you think it's actually better, or do you think it's like a relief to what's currently out now?
Good way to say it. I didn't actually think about it like that. But I honestly think it's better. I think it's better production, if anything. The production is definitely elevated. Hit Boy's doing all the beats, and he's definitely elevated each thing. And they have such good synergy.
Yes.
With his rhymes and his and Hit Boy's beats that it's just amazing, bro. That's why I had to double back on my Jay-Z tape on episode 1.
Because when I listen to a lot of my favorite guys releasing stuff now, it's almost like a relief. Like, oh, finally, thank you. I can get back to my regular programming.
Yeah, for sure. More reps. Yes, welcome back to another episode of More Reps, episode 3. We are your hosts. I'm Chadwick Brown.
And I'm Cabana Beckles.
Yes, sir. We're back with some more good topics for you. Set 1 today, we're going to be talking about out-training a bad diet.
Yes.
That's even possible.
Yeah, I can start off. So I think it is possible, but I think it's highly dependent on age.
Okay.
So a lot of my younger athletes, and let's just say I'm starting at 10 years old, somewhere up to, let's say 18, typically they're going to have junk food in their diet. They're not going to be getting their macros, their proteins, and their fats. So they might be high-level athletes, so they're able to out-train their diet at that time because their metabolism's so high because they're so young and they're so active. But after that 18 area, 18, 19, 20, that's when we have to really start to concentrate on that diet.
Absolutely, for sure. I also think it comes out to what the definition of what bad diet is.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? So bad diet can be just the quality of the food you're eating and also the quantity of the food you're eating.
For sure.
Right? So if their goal is to really shed off fat and whatnot, they have to be in a proper deficit.
Yeah.
So if they're eating, even if they're eating good quality food, but eating too much, there's too much calories coming in as opposed to calories going out.
Yes.
They're never gonna hit that goal. They'll just be running in circles.
Yeah.
So to me, it's definitely a hard thing to do. Going back to what you're saying, if you're younger and higher metabolism, for sure, you could probably get some junk food or some shitty food and still be able to outwork it. But as you get older, especially getting to our ages, you definitely have to be really, really like acute on your numbers you're hitting and making sure you stay within those rep ranges. The macro count in order to see proper progress.
Yes, exactly. And I think a little thing that's happening right now that I notice a lot of parents are not forcefully, but they're pushing supplements to kind of compensate that bad diet. So I went to a hockey rink the other day just to watch some hockey, youth hockey, and the supplement shop there was huge.
Okay.
And I'm seeing parents just like, throw this in their shake, throw that in their shake. I'm like, do you even know what that's even doing?
Yeah. Do you even need that?
And I think with supplements, there's a confusion that you're trying to supplement a good diet. You're just adding a couple things that might be lacking from your diet. It's not a full meal replacement. It's not, I'm going to use the supplement to take care of everything else. It doesn't work that way.
It's called a supplement for a reason.
Exactly.
You're supplementing for stuff that you're lacking. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. People got to put more thought into what they're actually putting into their bodies and whatnot. Because nutrition is key. You can work out, you can be in here for 3 hours working out. If your nutrition is not going to be able to fuel that properly, you're never going to hit progress. You'll be hitting plateaus right through and whatnot. So yeah, for sure. Nutrition is key. Guaranteed, for sure. Yeah, man, for sure. All right, so we're going to get into set number 2. All right, set number 2, we're going to be talking about training through injuries. Now, it all depends on what we're talking about in terms of injuries. Some people might think if they had a great workout and they're sore the next day, that I can't work out the next day. You can push through soreness for sure. But if there's an injury, people always, you have to listen to your body.
Yes.
100%. So if let's say you're doing a bench press and your elbow is stopping you from getting that proper range of motion and it's hurting you, I wouldn't bench press. At that point, I'd be calling my doctor or a physio or something like that to look into it deeper as to why my elbow is hurting as opposed to trying to push through it. Because in the end, you'll be doing more damage than good just pushing through those injuries. So always listen to your body. Anything severe, 1,000,000%, do not work out at all. I would definitely go to your doctor and get a second opinion and whatnot.
Yeah. So I think that right now there's so much science and research out there that shows kind of the old mentality wasn't working, where if you had an injury, if it wasn't broken, still train. And it was the same with sports too. there's a concept of, are you hurt or are you injured?
Big difference.
Big difference.
Big
and
difference.
ultimately they want you to play through both, but an injury is going to keep you out of the sport. If you're hurt, keep going because you can deal with the pain threshold and the tolerance.
Yeah.
But for myself, training through injuries have always kept that injury going longer.
Yep, have it linger.
And then ultimately shifted the pain or the injury to another part of my body.
Yes, because that part of the body's trying to compensate
exactly
for that part there. Before you know, you got two bad spots going on.
Yeah.
For sure. I had a bum shoulder for maybe about the last year and a half. Going back maybe a few months ago, it's cool now.
Yeah.
But the same thing, I would just like, I'm still gonna be shoulder pressing, going like this. But instead, once I started realizing it, you know what, let me just go to a more neutral grip. And it takes more pressure off the shoulder.
Yes.
So there's ways to work around it by
For
just changing the position of the arm, the hands, whatever have you, to be able to kind of train through being hurt. But if it's flat out injury, listen to your body, people. Always listen to your body.
And I think unless you're a doctor, a physician, or someone who knows anatomy in and out, you shouldn't be self-diagnosing. You can say to yourself, hey, I'm injured here, but don't change the exercise to compensate what is actually hurting. Go see a professional that knows anatomy, that can tell you, okay, here are 3 or 4 exercises that you can do instead of this, if that one exercise is triggering the injury or sparking the nerves or whatever it is.
Very good point, for sure. Absolutely. Don't be like a super soldier out there saying, oh, I'm fine, I'll just walk it off. Like, no, you're injured. Go seek help, man. You know what I mean? Absolutely. All right, set number 3. We're going to be touching on training with your partner. This is an interesting one.
Yeah, it is.
What kind of experience you have with that? What's your take on this?
So my partner's always been in athletics, played volleyball, high school, danced a little bit, always around athletics like myself. So I think the transition to sustainability with weight training was a lot easier for her.
Okay.
I think it's added value that I'm in the industry as a nutritional coach and personal trainer, so I can write the programs up. Because one of the issues is she's a teacher, so she has a lack of time. So we've designed programs where she can get a good workout in 20 to 25 minutes.
Sweet.
So she can stay active, and also she has that accountability knowing that the workout's only gonna be 20, 25 minutes and not an hour and a half. Me personally, I like training a little bit longer.
Okay.
So we will train at home because we have a home gym. So she'll do her 20, 25 minutes while I'm in the same facility doing my hour and a half.
Got it. Nice. Okay, for sure.
How about yourself?
For me, like my wife, we pretty much have the same goals right now. So a lot of time when we're training, we're actually training together, and kind of, for me, it's a good push. Sometimes where I feel like, I can't get extra rep, but she's literally on me like, okay, get on this. You can get more out of it for sure.
Yeah.
But since sometimes it could kind of go the other way, because you might get a little too competitive with your partner.
Yes.
And be like, you know what? Oh, she lifted that. I could do way more than that. And before you know it, you're lifting that, and you got an injury. And we're going back to our last set. We're talking about getting injured and whatnot. So you got to kind of find that balance and that sweet spot in between. I enjoy both. I enjoy working out by myself, but I also enjoy working out with my partner. And in ways, it's almost a form of intimacy too.
Yes.
You know, because you kind of have that moment where you're kind of connecting on a totally different level. It doesn't have to always be something sexual or we're cuddling. Like, no, we can connect through working out also.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
Nice. Yeah, because one thing I find too that when we're working out together, myself and my partner, is that the competitive level, like you said, is high. And we're pushing each other, but we always made a decision before when we first got together that we weren't going to let each other slide physically. So one thing that we always said was we're not going to get to a point where we're just looking at each other as if we're not liking what we're seeing. We're going to hold each other accountable and hold ourselves accountable.
Yo, something's going on here.
Exactly.
Like,
so we hold each other, I think, at a higher physical standard where we're always training and just trying to stay in shape. I'm not trying to be competition ready all the time, but staying aesthetically fit and at a good weight for my joints where it's not hurting. And same with her, just so she plays soccer, staying physically fit enough to play soccer and be competitive.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, another reason why I enjoy it is I just enjoy watching my wife push herself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? She's expressing her strength in another way because she's a very strong individual. So I can actually physically see her pushing herself.
Nice.
Grinding out those hard last reps and whatnot. It's just, I'm impressed. I love that, babe. And it helps me push her and whatnot. And it creates some of that chemistry and spark that might translate back home when we get home to the bedroom. You know what I mean? So again, it's a good way to connect with your partner. And it all depends on everyone's individual relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Because some people are like, you know what, this is my thing. This is her thing. We keep it separate, but we can still connect on another level at home or whatnot. So it all depends on every individual. But
yeah, and I think too, oftentimes when I have clients say, how do I entice or encourage my partner to work out with me? I think just very simple, doing 5 to 10 minute workouts to start out, to let them know that, hey, I can do this, I can be accountable for this allotted time, and then gradually increase. Because one thing that I highly dislike is when I'm training 2 people, a couple getting ready for a wedding. They take their wedding photos, and then everything slides off. And I'm like, where you at?
You stay on it. Be consistent.
We train so hard for a short period of time. Now you have the rest of your lives together. Why not stay healthy? Why not stay physically fit for each other? Just to take out limitations of your life. Because I don't like, personally, looking at something physically demanding, thinking that I can't do it. So we try to have the approach in our relationship, there are no limitations. If the kids want to go hiking, we go hiking. My son wants to take up snowboarding, we're going snowboarding.
We're doing it.
Awesome.
I love that, for sure. Absolutely. So if you like working out with your partner, we highly recommend you do it. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. Everyone's different, you know what I mean? So yes, we're getting into one of our favorite segments, set number 4, the supersets. Here we go. All right, set number 4, the supersets. Before we get into that, I want to give one quick shout out once again to the homie Eclipse for our beautiful artwork. Keep in tune. I'm sure we'll be rotating some pieces every now and then for him, but he's crushing it as usual. Usain Bolt.
Yes.
The laser focus eyes, you know what I mean? But supersets. First one I got for you. 3 things. 2 got to go.
Okay.
Free weights, machines, or cables. Only one can stay. 2 got to go.
I would say my preference would be free weights.
Okay.
Free weights, so there's nothing more, I would say, not more better, but better sounding than hardcore, old school iron clanging together on the weights, just knowing that you're getting in there, grinding it out, just lifting heavy old school iron weights. I would take that over cables or
so maybe just for the preference of the sound of it.
Yes.
You feel like you're doing more work when you hear it.
Yeah, because I grew up in the era, not actually in the era, but when I first started weightlifting, I used to go back and watch the old school weightlifters like Arnold.
The golden era.
Yeah. My uncle, who was a professional bodybuilder, Albert Beckles, like guys like that would just grind it out hardcore, hard weights all the time in the trenches.
For sure. For myself, I probably have to say, in totality, the same free weights, because it's once you master how to lift a weight properly, having all your stabilizer muscles, your core engaged, and no swinging, no momentum, that's like art in itself. When you have proper form, you can move a free weight. Where a machine is foolproof. It only goes one path, so it's like anyone can jump on that and do it. Cables are good because it keeps more tension on the muscle throughout the whole form. But free weight, if you're able to master anything, a deadlift with free weight, a bench press with free weight, it just looks better to me. You know what I mean? It looks like artwork to me. I love it.
All right, I'm going back at you with a superset question. Would you rather be teaching fitness or learning fitness?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Holy shit. I'm going to say learning because you can never know everything from one. But whatever I learn, in essence, I can turn around and teach.
Nice.
So I'd rather be learning as much as I can. And that's one thing I enjoy about being here at United Wellness is just because there's so many different minds here and different perspectives and ways on how to lift things. And it's like you kind of take everything from everybody and kind of mix it together, make your own thing. I don't like this from this guy. I like this from this guy. Make your own thing. So you're always learning. So I'd rather learn because in turn you can turn around and teach people, you know?
Yeah, I would have to agree with that too. I'd rather be like a sponge, soak up all the info, and then give it out. Because I think one of the most valuable things in the world is information, and information to a certain level should be free.
Absolutely.
But then you're going to pay for the cost of the knowledge for someone to implement that kind of.
Very true.
That kind of information.
Very true. Absolutely. I got one for you. I think I already know the answer for this for you already, but sneakers or Timbs?
I'm a sneakerhead.
I know.
Anyone knows me? I've had sneakers that are sitting on the shelf now from 20 years ago. I did a little segment a couple years ago where I was highlighting all the sneakers that I had, and then my partner's like, cool off because I don't want people to know exactly what's in our house.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, so I cut it right there, but yeah, I have a pretty extensive collection.
Sneakers over Timbs, got it.
Yeah. How about yourself?
That's a tough one. I like both.
Yeah.
But I grew up always wanting more Timbs than sneakers. I'll probably go that way.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like Timbs when I seen the beef and broccoli ones and the you got blue and different colors and whatnot, and have them unlaced and the tongue flapped over, just the look of it. Even the tall 40 below Timbos. Like I love Timbs for sure, but sneakers are dope too. Yeah. But I think in totality, more of Timbs.
Nice.
For sure.
Nice. One back at you. This one's a tough one.
Uh-oh.
So I know you have the musical background.
Yes, sir.
Would you rather collab with your favorite musical artist or collab with your favorite professional, let's say, physique fitness icon?
Damn, that's a hard one, bro. That is a hard one. I'm gonna say collabing with the fitness person.
Okay.
I did a song with Sean Price from Helter Skelter.
Nice.
One of my favorite artists ever. So I kind of already done that. So that's already off my bucket list. Okay. And that was a great experience in itself. So I'd probably say fitness. If I can, I know we plan to go to Pure Muscle one time. If I can go there and hook up with Mike Van Wyck one time, I'd be all over that for sure.
Nice.
So I'd probably rather roll with the fitness one for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Nice.
All right, one back at you. Talking about warm drinks. Coffee or tea?
I'm not a big coffee guy. I never really ever got into it. I'm more cappuccino, but between coffee and tea, I would lean more towards tea.
Which tea?
Like an Earl Grey.
Earl Grey.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. My mom growing up drank a lot of tea. A lot of Earl Grey.
Yeah.
So I think I would. And Red Rose.
Red Rose. Red Rose. Can't go
that was a staple in our house. Red Rose.
I think in every Caribbean house, Red Rose tea was always.
Yeah. So I'd pile it. And my tea is like whitewashed out. I would put so much milk, so much sugar in it. It doesn't look like tea anymore.
So you don't do it just straight?
No.
You get a little bit of milk, a little bit of sugar. Got it. For me, coffee. 1,000,000%. I had a huge tea phase at one point. I didn't touch coffee at all. Green tea, straight green tea all the time. Nice. That was my shit for sure. But over the last few years, I started getting more on the coffee wave. And the reason why I didn't like coffee is because I had a teacher in elementary school who always read like cigarettes and coffee, and that smell would drive me nuts. To the point, anytime I think of coffee or smell coffee, I think about that teacher, and I didn't like him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that was in my head the whole time. But once I started getting into it, and then you know what I mean, I don't really like the Folgers or like the Maxwell House. I like the more premium ones.
Nice.
You know what I mean. There's one actually up in Muskoka we got, and it was amazing. And so definitely more coffee. It gives me more of a jolt. I like to have it like before my workout sometimes too, but again, too much of it, sometimes you get desensitized to it and you don't even feel it, right? So you got to have those tolerance breaks and whatnot, but coffee, for sure, over tea.
All right. Let's switch over to theatrical movies a little bit.
All right.
Boyz N The Hood or Menace II Society?
Oh, man. Don't do this. Don't do this to me. Menace II Society or Boyz N The Hood? Wow. Okay. I'm going to have to say, geez, man, that's tough.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to say Boyz N The Hood.
Okay.
Just because...
Ricky playing a little football?
Yeah, Ricky playing football. And he got shot. Man, I legit cried when he got shot, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was definitely more, I guess, I connected to it more than Menace Society. Yeah. Menace Society was amazing. And O-Dog was a menace, for lack of better words. Yeah. Like, he was insane. But Ice Cube, his acting debut in that, crushed it as Doughboy. Young Cuba Gooding, crazy. Morris Chestnut.
Yep.
It's just like, to me, that because it had better actors. Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes.
His talks he had with Cuba, like, there's so many memorable things about that. But Menace II Society was a great movie too.
It was, yeah.
Boyz N The Hood. I'm thinking Boyz N The Hood.
Boyz N The Hood? Yeah, I have to agree too.
You go the same way?
Yeah, I have a deeper connection with Boyz N The Hood than Menace II Society.
Yes, exactly. Definitely deeper connection for sure. What I got for you? Let's switch gears. Let's get on some music stuff again. So when it comes to hip hop, gangster rap or more conscious hip hop? And why? I'd love to hear the reason why.
Music's it's a funny topic with me because I didn't realize growing up, and especially going down to Florida to play my college basketball, to start out my college career down there, how a genre of music would dictate and control some people's behavior. So at that time, it's all Dirty South, in the club, bang it out type of music. And everyone was so high strung, super low tolerance views. Everyone's fighting all the time. We're listening to that all the time. And then I kind of switched out of that to a little bit more mellow, came back to the East Coast with the storytelling.
Yep.
And then I noticed myself, my behavior starting to come down because you're just always, whatever music you listen to, that's what your behavior is going to dictate.
You're right. You're 100% right.
So I would say early into college, I was more gangster rap.
Got it.
And then kind of transitioned out of that to more conscious music because now that I have kids, I want to be able to play the music that I like and have them listen to it, but I don't want the negative messaging behind it.
Very good points, for sure. Absolutely, absolutely. For me, I'm the other way. I'm probably gonna say I like gangster more so, just for the sheer entertainment aspect of it.
Okay.
I understand that, like, it might be portraying a certain message, but to me, it's no difference than watching like a Sylvester Stallone movie where he's shooting up a bunch of people, which I like action movies.
Yes.
So if someone has that in more of a musical form and the words and it doesn't bother me that much, I know it's not going to impact me because I'm not a gangster. I don't try to portray that at all, but I can listen to it and enjoy it for what it is. Just like how I can watch Goodfellas and enjoy it for what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but conscious, we definitely need room for conscious hip hop for sure. You know what I mean? It's all about balance. But if I had to take a preference, I guess I would have to say more gangster rap. Yeah, okay. I'm going with that.
All right, one back at you. We're going to shift over to back to nutrition a little bit.
Okay.
Would you rather drink your protein or eat your protein?
I'm going to say eat.
Okay.
I'm always looking to kind of get my nutrients and my macros from whole foods.
Okay.
While protein shakes do have a place in it, you know what I mean? If you need that extra 20 grams and you want it quick, especially like after a workout, you want to get in your system right away, I would probably go for more of a drink or liquid, but I'm definitely looking to eat something. I'd love to eat a steak or some chicken or turkey breast or something for sure. So I would definitely take whole foods.
Nice.
You?
Similar. If I have the time, I would highly prefer to sit down, have a meal, eat my protein like that, but I live a fast-paced life, and I always have since basketball, so it's always on the go. So protein shake, like you were saying, to get that extra couple grams, whatever it is, sometimes is more beneficial, but if I have the time, I prefer to eat.
Got it. Absolutely. For sure. Another question in fitness also. Dumbbells or kettlebells?
I honestly didn't touch a kettlebell until maybe 7 or 8 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. I like the change of pressure, how it puts a different emphasis on the muscles. It puts the load differently using kettlebells. And I feel that you can do a lot more variety of workouts with the kettlebells.
They're more versatile.
Yeah, a little bit more versatile.
So give me an example. We say let's say you're holding a kettlebell like this as opposed to like a dumbbell doing goblet squats. Like how would it, like you're saying you can get your hands in different ways.
Yeah, so like a kettlebell, if no one knows, it's kind of like a weighted ball with a handle up top. So as soon as you grab a hold of that handle, it's going to automatically put more pressure on your wrist and your forearm, depending on how you're maneuvering that kettlebell. Versus a dumbbell, it's weight loaded and it's balanced on either side, so it doesn't really require too much stability to hold it. So a kettlebell, you can let it fall on the back of your wrist, which is going to be more stable. But if you keep it, it's called like a waiter hold, where the ball's up top. Now that's going to involve so much more mechanics, coordination, and stability of your wrist, elbow, shoulder to do that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a preference of what you're trying to train for at that time.
Got it. Yeah. So what you're choosing?
I would choose right now kettlebells.
Got it.
With my goals,
Yeah, because everything you can do with a dumbbell, you can't do with a kettlebell.
Exactly.
In all reality, so why not add that extra stability factor to it? Sure. Good one. Got another one?
Let's see. Well, on the same type of wavelength, would you rather do barbell movements or dumbbell movements? Any exercise, but
I'm gonna say dumbbell. Just because even though you might be working both at the same time, they're both actually working unilaterally.
Yes.
You know, let's say we're doing a bench press with a bar.
Yeah.
No matter what, you're stuck on this path here. Even if one side's weaker than the other, it's going to pick up the slack, the strong side of the slack. Whereas opposed if we're doing a bench press with dumbbells, if this side's weaker than the other, then it's like you have to keep them both stable in order to get the weight up and drive. So I would prefer dumbbell. I don't even do bench press with a bar at all. All my benching is with dumbbell, 100%.
Nice.
But I'd probably take dumbbells over barbells.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that point because a lot of times people have plateaus or inconsistencies with their muscle balance, and I'll ask them, what are you training with mostly? Barbell.
Yeah.
So then, like you said, one side is always pushing a little bit harder than the opposite.
Always.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to be fully balanced. So a great way to break through plateaus, like you said, was get into some dumbbell work, and you can see which side is slacking behind or which side's overcompensating.
Absolutely. And even in terms of going back to doing bench press with dumbbells, you can actually now start doing them, rotating them, alternating, right? It's going to cause more core stability when you're reaching down on the one side to get it up. So, yeah, dumbbells is just the way to go. You can do everything with dumbbells for sure. So that's where I stand with that. Absolutely. Nice. All right, I believe we're at the end of another episode. We hope y'all enjoyed it. This is episode 3 of More Reps Podcast. Make sure to stay tuned. You can follow us on IG, which will be coming on the screen right now. Follow us on TikTok. And also you can hit up the email if you got any questions, suggestions, anything. You can comment, subscribe. Anything to let off with the people?
Not much. Thanks for rocking with us, and we'll be back at it next week.
Yes, sir. More reps, baby.